Hello humans, I am the Black Cat. So I've been seeing a lot of videos about this Iceberg tier list thing going around on YouTube. I've been binge watching Windigoon's videos explaining the conspiracy theory iceberg. His videos on that are really good and addictive, so you should definitely check it out. But I wondered if there was a paranormal iceberg, so I searched, and I couldn't find one. But I did manage to find an Unexplained Mysteries iceberg that was shared on Reddit. But when I went back to try and find it again to find the name of the person who created this iceberg, I couldn't find it, and I think it's been deleted. So if you know who made it, let me know so I can credit them at least. I did save the image, so I'll be working off that. Obviously I'll be doing a video for each tier, so this will be tier 1, next one tier 2, and so on and so forth. So here is the Unexplained Mysteries iceberg, tier 1. Jack the Ripper was an unknown killer in London that was active between August to November of 1888. Officially, he killed 5 people, including 2 murders in one night, known as the double event. There's theories that he killed more, but the canonical 5 are the officially recognized victims. One of the things that stands out about the killings is the gruesome way that the bodies were mutilated after they were killed, often with organs removed and placed next to the bodies, or in some cases missing altogether. There were some letters that are mostly accepted as being from Jack the Ripper that were sent to various people, including local newspaper journalists and people involved in the case. It has been over 100 years and there's been hundreds of theories about who Jack the Ripper was, but it's never been solved and probably never will be. The Zodiac Killer was an unknown killer from America who also murdered 5 people between December of 1968 and October 1969. He was never identified. The victims were mostly young couples who were parked in cars, and like Jack the Ripper, the Zodiac Killer also sent letters to media. However, some of his letters included cryptograms or coded messages that at the time couldn't be solved. However, the cryptograms have been solved now, but they really didn't add any valuable information about the killer's identity. Apparently, his idea was that he was killing people so he could have slaves in the afterlife. On the 24th of November in 1971, a man going by the name of Dan Cooper boarded flight 305 from Portland International Airport. After the flight was in the air, he handed a note to a flight attendant informing her that he had a bomb. He requested $200,000 and 4 parachutes. The flight landed in Seattle Tacoma Airport, where the other passengers were allowed to leave, and the FBI handed Cooper the money and the parachutes he asked for. After he was satisfied, the plane took off again. He instructed the remaining crew to go into the cockpit and keep the door closed. They stated that they felt the air pressure change and then the plane jilted. Once they landed, the FBI boarded the plane only to find that Cooper wasn't there. He had apparently jumped out of the plane with the money using the parachutes. He was never found, never identified, and the money never showed up. Some believe he didn't survive the jump, while others believe that he did and he managed to get away with the money. The hum is a phenomenon reported from several places around the world who claim to hear a low-frequency hum. It's unknown where the hum comes from. It's suggested that it could be any number of things, including machine hums from like cars or factories, animals or nature sounds, or even tinnitus. One suggestion was that it was simply background ambient noise and people were focusing on it. The theory being that these sounds were always there, but we mostly never pay attention to it. What makes it stand out is the fact that several people from a small area would report hearing the sound to the extent that it would drive people crazy. Bigfoot refers to a large primate type of creature that is believed to exist in North America. It hasn't been officially discovered, so it comes under the label of a cryptid. However, as far back as the early 1800s, there have been reports of finding large footprints. hence the name Bigfoot. There have also been various photos and videos. What's believed to be the first video of a Bigfoot was taken by Roger Patterson at Bluff Creek in California in 1967. I'm pretty sure anyone who's interested in the Unexplained knows about this video. There are also other legends of ape-like creatures from different parts of the world. There's the abominable snowman or the Yeti. Again, there's theories about what it is or if it even exists, but I do know that there have been animals that were believed to be extinct for hundreds of years that were rediscovered, so it's not out of the realm of possibility. On the 8th of March 2014, Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 left the Kuala Lumpur airport on its scheduled flight to the Beijing Capital International Airport, carrying 227 passengers and 12 crew. Approximately 30 minutes after the flight left, their radar signal was lost. However, military radar was still able to see them for another hour. The flight apparently turned off their scheduled course, and instead of heading for Beijing, they turned and headed west, after which they disappeared. Why they turned and what happened to them is still a mystery. Some parts of the plane were apparently found sometime later, but it's still unsolved, and all those people are missing. In 1997, researchers listening for underwater volcanic activity in the southern Pacific recorded a strange and extremely loud sound. They recorded numerous instances of the noise with different microphones that they had along the coast, which was unlike anything they had heard before. Not only was it loud, the sound had a unique characteristic that came to be known as the Bloop, sparking lots of theories about what it could be. Maybe some kind of giant unknown sea creature, or an underwater secret military base. Over time, researchers continued to research the sounds of seafloor volcanoes and earthquakes. In 2005, they believed they discovered what the bloop actually was. They theorized it was the sound of an ice quake, an iceberg cracking and breaking away from an Antarctic glacier. That's the theory. On the 19th of February 2013, a body was recovered in a water tank on top of the Cecil Hotel in Los Angeles. It was later identified as that of Elise Lam, a Canadian university student. She had been staying at the hotel when she was reported missing at the beginning of February. Her body was discovered when guests of the hotel made complaints about the water in the rooms. At the time of her disappearance, and before her body was found, the Los Angeles Police Department released a video of the last time she was known to have been seen. The video was taken by an elevator security camera in the hotel. In the footage, Lam is seen exiting and re-entering the elevator, talking and gesturing in the hallway outside, and sometimes seeming to hide within the elevator. The video went viral, with many people coming up with explanations ranging from claims of paranormal involvement to bipolar disorder. Some even link this case with a Japanese movie called Dark Water, which I've seen it and I like it. It's a good movie, but I don't think you can make that connection somehow. Harold Holt was an Australian Prime Minister in 1967, and he was a beach lover. He loved going swimming. On the 17th of December in 1967, Holt and some of his friends decided to go swimming while they were in Portsea, Victoria. The area Holt wanted to go was well known for being rather rough and having a rip. Most of his friends chose not to continue swimming and return to the beach, but Holt and another friend continued. His friend stuck to the shallower waters, but Holt continued to swim further out. He apparently was taken by the rip and was never seen again. There was a search conducted, which was one of the largest searches in Australian history, but he was never found. In 2005, it was officially declared as death by accidental drowning. Of course, as with any mystery, there are conspiracy theories that include suggestions that Holt faked his own death, or he was assassinated by the CIA for some odd reason, or that he was collected by a submarine so he could defect to China. Thevoynich Manuscript, aka the most mysterious book in the world, is a book, obviously, that's believed to date back to the early 15th century, between 1404 and 1438. It was purchased in 1912 by a Polish book dealer named Wilfred Voynich, hence the name. However, the context of the book and its origins are a mystery. The book contains writings that has yet to be translated because no one can seem to recognize where the language is from. The book also contains paintings of people, plants, stars, and star signs. Over the years, many theories have been put forward, and just as many people claim to have cracked the codes of the book, but so far none of them have actually been successful. One person, who's an expert in medieval languages, suggested it could be a herbal medicine book. Personally, I think that idea kind of makes sense considering the paintings in the book, but of course that idea has also been shot down. For now, the Thevoynich Manuscript remains a mystery. WebDriver Torso is a YouTube channel that gained attention for being weird, sparking several conspiracy theories. The channel would upload several videos a day, each video consisting of red and blue squares that would move around the screen, accompanied by beeps and other various sounds. When questioned, YouTube stated that it was a quality testing channel to make sure the videos uploaded were processed properly by the YouTube engine. YouTube's response was, and I quote, "We're never gonna give you uploading that's slow or loses video quality, and we're never going to let you down by playing YouTube in poor video quality. That's why we're always running tests like WebDriver Torso," which is obviously a reference to a Rickroll, right? However, some people are skeptical about this, thinking that YouTube is hiding something. On a side note, I did notice that when I googled WebDriver Torso, the Google logo changed to different coloured squares dancing around. The Babushka Lady is an unknown woman present during the 1963 assassination of John F. Kennedy, who might have photographed the events that occurred. Her nickname arose from the handkerchief she wore, which is similar to scarves worn by elderly Russian women, babushka being the Russian word for grandmother. The Babushka Lady was seen to be holding a camera by eyewitnesses and was also seen in films of the assassination. Apparently, even after the shooting took place and everyone else was ducking for cover, she was still standing there holding her camera, but she eventually walked away with everyone else, and she's never been identified. Anyway, that's it for Tier 1. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think, and thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye!